we met yesterday morning and decided that we were going to cancel 20% of flights going through Heathrow today to make sure that passengers had information in advance so they didn't have to turn up at the airport unnecessarily.
Explain to us why you have to do that.
Well, in low visibility, as you can see, we are starting to go into low visibility today, or in snow, airplanes need to have wider gaps between them when they land. It's a little bit like when you're driving on the motorway, you need to leave a bigger gap when you're in snow between you and the car in front. Exactly the same for safety reasons. At Heathrow, we operate at 98+% capacity, which means that when we have those wider gaps, we can land less aircraft. We usually meet on a daily basis in these types of circumstances to work with all of the community airlines, NATs, to make sure that we plan ahead for the day and look at the schedule and see what capacity that we can deal with given these challenging circumstances.
And you've learned from Friday's and Saturday's experiences that communication is key. You had all those passengers stranded at Terminal 5, sleeping on the airport floor. How do you prevent that?
Well, we're really sorry for any passengers that got caught up in the circumstances Friday night. We all work together as one community at Heathrow, so we all take responsibility for that. The most important thing is that we plan ahead. It's a challenge because forecasts are not always that easy in the UK, they're not always that predictable, but by working together and planning for the day ahead, we can make sure that passengers have the information they need to make those choices.
What was the problem then? You say you all worked together. Was it a mixture of the weather and communication with the airlines? Why were those people sleeping on the airport floor?
So it's always a number of circumstances that lead to those situations. There were some late cancellations, there was some disruption.
The airline's fault or your fault?
It's not anybody's fault. I think, the weather always causes some level of disruption. There were some difficulties at other European airports who were struggling with the snow as well. So there were circumstances where planes were out of place, crew hours, those sorts of things. But the most important thing is that we're all pulling together to make sure that passengers have the best possible experience they can today.
Very, very cold conditions expected from tomorrow. It's going to be very icy. So what will the airport do this afternoon and this evening to make sure things go as smoothly as they can for tomorrow?
Yes, as you say, we are expecting maybe 0 to 2 centimetres of snow tomorrow, but overnight it is going to get very cold. So we'll be anti-icing all of the runways, the taxiways, the stands, to make sure that when we start up first thing in the morning that the airfield runs freely.